I'm just so excited to talk to you today about your journey in music, and maybe we can start with going way back about your family life and music. How did that all start?
I grew up here in London, of course. I was born and raised here, always have been. My parents, they are immigrants from Colombia, both from different parts. They met here. Dad went first to the United States, Mom came straight here. So overall, it just came down to us three fighting for what we needed, because we were pretty new here. We didn't have much. We were living on such small things, and we had to get by. When I first heard about Sistema, I was quite curious. I was quite curious when they first told me about it, from my sisters mainly. I came here, they decided to put me in for an interview. I did the interview. I was immediately interested in the cello. I didn't think much of it at all back then, but as I grew on it, I continued to love it more and more each time I played the cello. Each time I played it, each time I had a concert with El Sistema, and the opportunities just kept coming and going, just on its way. I took advantage of every single one I wanted to. All the different artists you guys provided us with, choirs, big events at the Aeolian. A couple years go by, I joined the program maybe 2014, 2015. Maybe 3 years go by, I started to play the piano with your own students who taught me. Bruce Holdley came into the program with a winds and brass program, and immediately once I heard that, I took advantage. I pounced on the opportunity. I started with the flute. Once I started with the flute, I just gained a specific love for the two different categories. I was always on strings. I was always on piano and strings, and that's what I stuck with for about 5 years. From there, I just got to see so many new sides of music when I went to winds and brass, and the flute really opened that up for me. A couple years go by, Bruce asked the whole program, who wants to play the oboe? Who wants to play the oboe? We had an oboe and a bassoon coming in, and those were the only ones.
And that was a miracle, just so you know.
That was, yeah.
They were expensive.
It sure was, yeah. And that's where it all began for me. It's instantly heard oboe, and the curiosity in me told me, do it. Grab that instrument and start playing it. Do the best you can. So I did. Another miracle came in, Jessica Arenas, straight out of Colombia as well, one of the best oboists I've learned from. She came into the program, immediately had one-on-ones with me. I was the only oboist. She was helping me obviously the most she can. But I was her first student in Canada. I was her first student, and at the moment she's gone so far that she's getting her master's. She's working under Shelley Huron, who's my teacher at the University as well of Western. I found a love for the oboe that I necessarily didn't have for all the other instruments. I love the cello, I love the flute, and I love the piano, and I don't want to let them go. But the oboe was my future, and I could tell that as soon as the oboe came into the program.
So when I was 13, I knew I wanted to do music.
Yeah.
What happened that this is the direction you want to go, do you think?
And again, like I said, when I first started the program, I didn't think much about it. Didn't think much about it. It was mainly for my sisters. I was doing it as a side. But again, more and more, I found out that it kept just coming easy to me, easier than most things. And I said, this is not common. This is not something that just happens, right? This is something that, because I grew such a love for it so quickly compared to other things I do, soccer, art. It just came so quickly and so fast to me that I really noticed that there was something else behind it. There was more to it behind it when I was playing. There was a love to it that I had specifically for the oboe when I first got to it. But overall with music, when I first got to this program, I just knew that I had to continue because I could not let it go.
So you got into university at Western, yes. And where else?
So at Western, Laurier, and McMaster University.
Wow, yeah. Amazing.
For sure.
So what do you think it's going to be like the next 4 years?
That is a good question. I'm definitely expecting a lot of things. It's not going to be easy. I know that I have to work extremely hard for it, and I'm prepared for that, motivated for it as well, more than ever. But overall, I think if I put the effort I put into this program and everything, I've been committed almost 5 to 6 years, most likely. So again, I just have to put that same mentality, keep a strong mentality throughout university. But overall, I think it should be a good time for me. I think as long as I keep my head up high, focus on what needs to be done, practice every single day, I think it should be a good time for me in the next 4 years. Well, performance really gives you a good build-up, if that makes sense. A good build-up as in, you have the experience. You have the experience with the nerves being on stage. You are going to be able to make friendships. You're going to make connections with other musicians up there, and that will just keep expanding you and keep sending you off to more performances as well. In my
So,
experience.
getting up to perform the first time, what was that like for you?
Well, in 2015, it's hard to think. I was maybe 12 years old, so it was definitely a rush for a 12-year-old, at the Aeolian Hall specifically, because that's when our concerts were at the time. It definitely was a rush. I mean, I definitely felt so excited that I gotten a chance, just a chance to be up there doing something, right? Because again, at 12 years old, I wasn't really able to do much. I was just in karate lessons and that's it. And then this program really gave me the opportunity to have a try at something else. And if it wasn't for all the performances I've done with you guys at the Aeolian, here, wherever it is, I don't think I would be able to actually have the courage to go anywhere and perform or speak or whatever the matter is.
So here you are, you're launched into the world, you're a teacher now, you're in the classroom. What then?
Teaching right now to other kids my own age can be a little bit difficult, just because, again, I'm friends with a lot of the people here at the program, but I certainly do want to get the professional feeling that I'm the teacher. I want to be able to show them what I know, pass down experience, let them have a little bit insight of my knowledge on what I'm teaching them, give them background as well. Giving background is always what I like to do. I like to educate them on what they're playing as well. But again, what now is basically trying to keep it professional at such a small age. I guess I'm only 17, so it is really nice to being able to just come here and teach and have the practice. Because once I've acquired what I want to be, professor, teacher, whatever it is, I think right now is really gonna come back to me. Like what I'm doing right now is really just gonna come back and help me out, because I know a lot of people don't get to start teaching until maybe they're in their 20s and starting placements that they get from university. So I think it is really nice to be able to be here and have the experience.
What a great vision you have. A very noble vision for the future and very passionate. I'm so excited for you, and we're going to have another conversation once you get your feet wet at the Faculty of Music at Western, and I want to see how that's going for you.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today, and I wish you the very best in your journey.
Thank you, and thank you for having me here as well. It was really good to be here.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
You too.